Howdy howdy, this is Herding Goats here. I'm mostly known for my All Souls and Seals runs, but today I'm talking about Any Unrestricted. Any Unrestricted is the fastest speedrun category of 9 Souls. It is a category with difficult tricks, but because it is the only category played on story mode, it is more forgiving of mistakes compared to other categories. It also features a low amount of bosses, and they die very quickly due to your 10 times damage multiplier. This video will be about all of the tricks in the run and how to do them, as well as any backups for those tricks. It will follow the XP routing, node routing, and skill routing of the route. If you want to see what a completed route looks like, I will try to link the current world record here. Now let's move on to the guide. To start off, we're just going to do a moon jump where you just hit the jump button at the start of that little cutscene. It is one of the least impactful tricks of the entire run, but I always like to do it because it's funny. The only thing you have to pay attention to in these first few rooms is XP. So to gain XP, we're basically just going to kill every enemy that we can kill without actually slowing down. First enemy that you can kill without slowing down is this archer here, and followed by this swordsman right afterwards. Next enemies I like to kill are these two enemies right after this green wall, because you can just hit them during your dash jumps. You can freely kill this swordsman in front of the elevator. If you need some key, feel free to get it from him before you stab him. Then you can use the key right after the elevator to jump on this box. Last enemy we're going to kill is just this stupid spearman who's standing in the way here. You can just kill him as you fall down from the ceiling. Once you get to the Mystic Nymph room, you're going to charge your nymph. And then right after it gives you the message that it's been charged, you are going to simply save and quit. After this point, you can reload the game and it will place you on the left side of the room instead of where you were previously, which allows you to avoid opening a door and turn on Ruyi early. Once you get into the elevator, going off to the power reserve, you're going to simply ride this elevator down, killing every single enemy you see until the second Roomba enemy spawns from the right. Once this enemy has spawned, you're going to lure him to the left, jump over him, lure him to the right a little bit, jump over him, and lure him all the way off to the side, where you can now do rope storage by having him land on your head right as you go down onto the rope. Having this rope storage will allow you to then teleport past the door that is in the way of the Tai Chi kick area. So you simply wait for this cutscene to end, run over here, and then teleport over. Sometimes when you're fighting with the Roomba here, he can knock you into the wrong wall, which for some reason allows you to cling to this wall even though you're definitely not on it at all. Be careful here, because if you just hold down, you will go onto the rope and ruin your rope storage. If you do end up getting bounced onto this right wall, you can hold diagonal down and to the right, and then you should be able to fall normally and retain your rope storage. Also, when warping through a platform, make sure to hold down for at least a second before actually trying to warp through it, otherwise you will teleport back to where the rope is. If you miss the setup with the Roomba, sometimes you can just walk over to the rope, then hit down right when the invincibility frames from the last hit you have taken wear off. This will allow you to fall through the rope normally, as if you hadn't screwed up the setup in the first place. If you lose rope storage in a way that can't be recovered from, such as you accidentally killed the Roomba or you end up touching the rope as you fall down, you may just take the normal path that you would take without rope storage, where you simply go to the left and around as if you were playing the game normally. Just try to make sure you have a key, because it allows you to skip an entire box cycle. Once you get the Leer, if you get behind him and hit him before the tutorial actually starts, you can skip 1/3 of this tutorial. Once you have completed Tai Chi kick, you're going to want to go get some ledge storage. Go over to this ledge, slash while you are on it, and then while you are slashing, use your talisman button. This will trick the game into thinking that you are still on the ledge. Once you have that, simply move your way through this hallway to the left and on to the next room, where you're going to use what is called a ledge storage float. Also, do not forget to pick up your stasis jade. To perform the parry float, all you are going to do is you are going to hit the jump button, and then while still holding the jump button, you're going to hit the parry button. This will allow you to float as long as you are holding this jump button. Simply float across this entire area so that you don't have to deal with the box cycles. If you have lost your ledge storage for some reason or just forgot to pick it up, you can simply go grab ledge storage from the boxes. This is a little bit slower, but it's still good to know. Last thing about this ledge float is if this enemy looks like he's going to hit you, you can do a parry and then do a talisman to land on the box. Once you're at this fork, you're going to go to the right and work your way up here. You're going to want to aggro at least one of these two enemies. It doesn't really matter as long as you get one of them. And you're going to lure them far to the left, where you're going to use them for static rope storage. Once you get these enemies over here, right before this enemy hits you, you're going to start climbing down onto the rope, and then right as the enemy hits you, you're going to use a talisman. Once you've confirmed that you are still up top, you are going to hold up into the left and then jump to grab onto the rope as low as possible. If you grabbed onto the rope low, you will have a high rope jump cancel, which allows you to jump higher off the rope than normal. You're going to jump off of the rope and then use some slashes to make it to this ledge. Once you're on the ledge, you are going to get one more key from the enemy, and you are going to make it through this area backwards using your talisman and using one more jump with slashes to get over this ledge. If you do not use slashes, you will hit these spikes, so be aware of that. Also remember that if you still have rope storage, hitting up or down during this section will teleport you to the rope if you're not connected to a wall. Be very careful about that, as it can teleport you into pain. Lastly, if you either mess up the high rope jump cancel setup, or you just don't feel confident doing it, you can grab one extra key from this enemy here and simply just talisman over. You may also touch this rope to remove your rope storage so that you're not afraid of teleporting. You can use a talisman to get over this gap to get to the air dash a little bit faster. Once you get to Daybreak Tower here, you can get ledge storage right there, and then use a slash vault by hitting the slash and up button during a jump. You may also do the same thing except using a vault by hitting the parry button and up during a jump while low to the ground. Sky Tower is a bit of a nightmare, so I'm just going to show the quickest way to get through Sky Tower first. First, you're going to grab a ledge storage, jump over here, do a slash vault, jump over here, jump onto these ledges, and then you are going to do a damage invulnerability boost through this laser. Jump on up here, grab ledge storage, and continue upward using either a vault or a slash jump. Jump up to this next area, and you are ready to set up your low gravity. Set up low gravity, you're just going to fall off the ledge and hit this laser at a very specific angle. If you get it right, ye will start jumping in place. Once you get up there, you're going to do a dash talisman, then you're going to do another dash, and then one last dash to grab this ledge so that you no longer have low gravity. Make your way up the rest of the area and simply grab the Dao Fruit, although it is already grabbed in this clip. The main way you'd want to do Sky Tower easier is to mostly just not use that damage abuse with the laser, and simply just go through the area a little bit more normally using your ledge vaults or slash vaults to get up and grabbing a ledge storage off of this ledge. Remember to grab this node. This is a good time to equip your Stasis Jade if you have not done so yet, and remember to level up Skull Kick as you will need it in the next area. Once you get to this jump you shouldn't be able to make, you use your Skull Kick to bounce off this enemy and get up here. Then do a rope storage to climb on up. If the enemy hits you with the slower attack, you will simply fall in a pit, but you will still retain your rope storage, so once you respawn, just climb on up. Remember not to hit the up or down button or you will teleport back to that rope. So you want to lose your rope storage by hitting this rope at the end here, and then you can climb. The last thing to do in this room is go to the edge of this box and grab ledge storage before moving on to the next room. Once you're in Grotto, you can either use a ledge vault or a sword vault to get your way up to the rope and then make your way to the right. I like to kill this enemy because he's kind of annoying. Set your spawn point over here and then make your way back over to the left while bringing this enemy with you, as you will need him for rope storage. Use a talisman and then a dash to grab onto this rope. If you press the up button as you do the dash, you will often grab hold of this rope and then from there you can jump and dash into the spikes to spawn on the other side. Once you're on the other side, you're just going to move your way over to the right. You're going to want to do a coyote jump over into this little clove, which will teleport you up top here. You're going to want to fall down next to the elevator and then activate your rope storage, which will teleport you all the way over here. Once you're over here, you're going to climb up and touch this rope to remove your rope storage. Then, once you've done that, you're going to aggro this floating enemy, kill this guy, and then bounce off of this guy with a skull kick and then dash over to get up top and head your way over to the G fight. If you are having trouble hitting the up button during the dash to get the correct rope storage, you can just do simply a normal dash. Then once you have done that, jump straight up again, and dash to the right to fall into the pit. If you made a mistake and broke this bridge, what you can do is you can grab onto this ledge, hit directly up, jump, and then do your talisman dash, and then proceed to activate your rope storage in whichever way you prefer. There is a quick kill for G. If you hit him with 4 hits into a talisman and then 3 hits into a talisman, you will immediately defeat phase 1. Make sure to use a skull kick during those first 4 hits, because a skull kick cancels faster than other attacks. Once I get into phase 2, I like to jump up into the air after he teleports and hit him with 3 standard auto attacks. After which I fall to the ground, jump up, and then do a skull kick. Dash through his red laser, do 4 attacks, and then a parry. 4 attacks and a talisman, 3 attacks and then a parry, 4 attacks and then a talisman, and then 3 attacks using a skull kick. Perform a parry into a talisman to finish the fight. Additionally, you can skip G's death cutscene. To do this, when he starts his Tai Chi kick attack, while you are facing away from G, jump up into the air and throw out an early skull kick. While he is flying into your skull kick, you must pause the game, so that you pause the game at the same time that he is hit by the skull kick. If you do this, sometimes, this is not a consistent trick, the game will save when he is hit by this skull kick, and then you can quit the game, therefore skipping his death cutscene. Also, remember to pick up G's hair. It is a key item and you need it to complete the game. Alright, minor skip's pretty confusing, so first I'm going to show this little diagram that I have made. It shows that blue is where you can stand and red is where you are not allowed to stand during this trick. Here I'm going to draw a little green line, just showing you a simple way through this area. You can see that I am mostly going to be touching corners and areas that the game deems unsafe. These are all the areas that I have marked in blue. This trick, we're going to land in this first corner, do a dash into a slash to cancel. Then we're going to jump, dash, skull kick off this man into another corner, over to this green wall. Gonna dash into another corner, dash onto this, fall off of this early so we can dash and fall through this. We're gonna do a damage abuse into this laser so we don't have to wait for the cycles. Dash into this corner. Touch this thing by nudging ourselves over, jump into the doorway, jump onto the corner, dash to the side, skull kick, land on the platform, jump into the corner, go up here, and then activate our rope storage by getting hit by this man. If he hits you with the slow attack, you'll fall onto the ground, but as long as you jump straight up, it'll be fine. Jump straight up then, and activate your rope storage. Once you've done that, get near this acid pit, dash, and then hit A button right as the A button shows up in the center of the elevator, and you will be able to go in immediately. To make the beginning of minor skip easier, it is recommended that you use a talisman, which is a little bit slower. But it is a lot easier to hit this corner that way. If you do this, you will need to get a talisman later, so I would grab it off of this dog after you have done the rope storage. Once you get into Imperium, you're going to want to grab ledge storage off of this ledge next to the elevator. Make sure to actually activate this save and get another key if you have not yet got it. This is a slightly newer save, so I already actually have the key. Once you get all the way to the wall, you can choose your own way of getting up the wall. In this one, I'm going to do a moon slash. To do a moon slash, you're going to face away from the wall, move a little bit away from the wall. Then you are going to jump straight up, perform a slash, and then tap to the right while you are in the middle of the slash. If you are holding jump during this entire time, you should connect to the wall and then start sliding up it. Once you get high enough up the wall, you're going to perform a slash talisman, dash, slash, slash, dash, slash, slash, and you should be able to pretty easily make it to the next platform. Once you're up here, keep running to the left until you get to this mutant. Use your Mystic Nymph to unlock the rope, which I've already done in this run. So it's already down. Climb up the rope and then use this samurai to get your rope storage. Use fast rope climb by holding diagonal while mashing the jump button to climb up here for about 6 seconds off screen. Once you've done that, you're going to want to do a jump, a talisman, a dash, and then some slashes to get a little bit extra distance, and you should be able to pretty easily make it up to this corner and go all the way across this roof. Go down here, grab some key from the samurai if you need it. If you don't, keep going and grab this ledge storage, run all the way over here, and then climb down this rope, jump past this guy, and then take this ledge storage all the way out of this room to the left. Make sure to actually use the rope here, as if you forget and try to use the ledge, you will teleport into this room with this singular mutant and be soft locked. An alternate option you have to moon slashing is you can do a dash turnaround slash to go up the wall instead. To do a dash turnaround slash, do a dash, a jump, very lightly tap away from the wall, and then do a slash. Assuming that you're holding jump this entire time, you should connect to the wall and then slide up it. Fastest way of getting up this wall is definitely the most annoying way of getting up the wall because it is related on RNG. There's only a 25% chance you have of getting this. When you get to the second samurai, if he does not cross through you with his first attack, you can try to go for some RNG to set it up so he does cross through you on his next few attacks. If you get 2 different times where he crosses through you, you can do this. Otherwise, you cannot do it without resetting it. In this situation, I am resetting it at least once to set this back up so you can see why this is RNG. Once you get to the wall, you're going to hold the jump button and parry his attacks while you are facing your back directly to that wall. Once you have stuck to the wall and he is not going to hit you anymore, you're going to want to do a slash, skull kick slash, and you will be sent flying up the wall at a much faster rate. If you happen to mess up this trick and get hit by one of the samurai or lose your ledge storage in some other way, the fastest way is to simply save and quit back to that last node and grab ledge storage from there. If you get a slow slide, you can do a slash and then a dash to keep your ledge storage and try again. Once you get past the hang cutscene, you're going to make your way over to the wall of the elevator and set up a spider leap. To do this, you're going to face away from the wall. You're going to jump and then hold parry while low to the ground. You should stick to the wall, wait for the enemy to get close to you, and then slash, skull kick slash him to get launched upward. And then you want to do 2 slashes right as you're about to leave the screen, and you should go past an invisible barrier. If you do this correctly, you'll get up to the top, and you can evade the acid on the ground by jumping over it and dashing, and then mashing the interact button to get the save point. Once you finish saving, it should unlock the camera and put it back on you. Once you've done that, you're going to want to use your Mystic Nymph to unlock this door that is above you, and then you're going to want to go to the right, using a talisman and a dash to get over. Also remember to jump here so you can go over the world's smallest cutscene trigger. Once you do that, jump up here, slash these spikes, climb on up, and make your way over to Fushi and Nua. Because this trick shows some stuff that's not actually on the screen during the trick, I've gone into debug mode and turn on the hitboxes. As you can see here, there is a gap on this floor where the wall is. So because of this gap, we're going to use our slash to go past that. That is what the slash on the wall is for. Then this is when we climb up, dash over here, and touch the save that you can barely see in the top left corner. If you mess up the elevator trick, either by just messing it up in general, or by ending up on the second floor because your slashes weren't timed right with the speed you were going, the fastest thing you can do at this point is just come on down and start killing the enemies and use the elevator normally. If you manage to get to the top but you forgot to actually have any key to make the jump, you can teleport back to Pavilion, run all the way over to Ruyi, and then grab ledge storage. Once you have grabbed your ledge storage from Ruyi, you may teleport your way back, and once you are back, you will simply use your new ledge storage to do a ledge parry float over the gap. To do the Fang cutscene skip, you need to slash and then pause at a very specific time. These first 3 slashes are too early. You can see that the animation has barely started and there is no slash on the screen. These next 3 slashes are too slow. The animation has already expired by the time the pause happened. If you do a slash and pause correctly, it'll look like these last 3 slashes, where the slash is very visible on the screen as a solid line. To do the Fang cutscene skip, wait for the slow-mo to end after killing Fushi, and then do the slash pause. If you did it correctly, you'll see the save icon show up in the corner. You can save and quit, and then when you reload the game, Fushi and Nuo will already be dead, and you don't have to watch their death cutscene. After you've collected Nuo's seal, run over to the chest on the left of the room to grab the Tianhuo serum. Once you have that, simply save and quit the game and reload. Once you've reloaded, you'll be back at the Vital Sanctum, so you won't have to listen to Ruyi talk to you about the Tianhuo serum. On the way to the elevator out of Imperium, you can grab ledge storage and then do a slash sword vault slash into a talisman to kill this enemy without aggroing the sword guy at the bottom so that you can kill the mutant quicker. I still like to aggro the sword guy afterwards to grab key. This next trick is by far my least favorite. You have to aggro this stupid two-handed swordsman guy to get over into this specific corner and then do the double slashing attack move. After he does that, you need to hit him with his skull kick, talisman to the left, dash to the right, and then skull kick him again to get on the ledge. Once he respawns, because this enemy keeps respawning, you will dash over, skull kick him, and then talisman back over to get to this top mutant. Once you get to this giant flaming room in the point of no return, grab ledge storage here. Once you have your ledge storage, you're going to dash through this little annoying Roomba man that you can't kill, and then you're going to run all the way to the right and attempt to do a spider leap to get up onto the platform. If you happen to mess up the spider leap, I recommend killing the enemies so that they don't mess with you on subsequent attempts. Just keep doing this trick until you hit it and get up there. Also, I do like to slash after the jump on the spider leap just to get a little bit of extra height. Just remember to do it early in the jump, because if you do it late in the jump, you cannot grab the ledge. Once you get to this laser part, make sure you have a key from this Tai Chi kick thing, dash off, and then grab the ledge with your talisman. Run over here and choose either a spider leap or a wall slide to get up here. Make sure to grab one more ledge storage before going down into the Agong zone. Alright, it's time to explain the most difficult trick of the run. Using the ledge storage you grabbed from earlier, you're going to have to carry it through the entirety of hallway. So to do this, you're going to have to keep canceling your slashes as you slash through all of these enemies. Line up directly below this, jump straight up, and then lasso your way on up. The trick to this hallway is you cannot take any hits, you cannot parry without dashing immediately after it, and you cannot slash without turning around. One thing you are allowed to do is skull kick. You're also allowed to use talismans. So what I like to do is I just lure all these enemies to the right here, and I just keep hitting them with a slash turnaround and then a skull kick to kill them. I wait to the right of this mutant spawn and immediately kill them with a talisman that I saved earlier from the Tai Chi kick orb. Kill this dog immediately and cancel my slash turnaround. I'm just going to stop talking about canceling slash turnarounds, because just assume that I'm doing it every single time. I'm going to do 2 skull kicks into all of these little samurai guys to make sure that they die. If you skull kick past them, they tend to turn around instead of attacking. Make sure to air dash if it looks like they're actually going to hit you. And on the 4th one, you want to grab a key. So make sure to dash cancel your parry. At this point, 2 more spike mutants will come out and run all the way to the left to lure them that way, so that when the 3rd spike mutant comes out that has a bomb strapped to him, he's all the way on the right. You're going to knock down these 2 mutants with your slash cancels, run all the way to the right, knock down this mutant with a slash cancel, and then talisman him to kill all of 4 of the mutants. Next, we're going to get the waves of 3 punch guys. So when these guys show up, you're going to want to hit them with skull kicks. They will almost always get a swing off. If they do the big swing, I like to then parry them and then dash out. Other than that, just keep skull kicking these guys and avoiding their attacks. There's a few ways you can do this final, most difficult section. I like to just kill as many of them as possible, so I immediately kill this first guy with the talisman I have from earlier. Then I try to get a talisman from this guy, cancel, and then kill this guy with a talisman as well. I will keep doing this as long as I can, but if it looks too dangerous, I will not do it. Here we're in a pretty good spot. The only enemy left is this stupid green guy and all of these little elite guys that I'm just going to skull kick to death while I avoid the spikes. Just going to keep this guy stunned. This hallway will just end automatically if we get to the end of it. So we're just going to continually stun this guy as we keep killing other enemies so that we can get to the end. If we have done this correctly, you can see that I still had ledge storage when I did that jump parry. So now that we have ledge storage, we can use that ledge storage to get by an impossible jump. If you miss this impossible jump with your ledge storage, you will soft lock the entire game and you can't fix it. So make sure you hit that vault. You can do it with either a normal vault or a sword vault. So let's talk about what to do if you mess up hitless hallway and don't have ledge storage. First, you're going to go into options, go into graphics, and you're going to change your VSync off and your limit FPS off. You can also lower your graphics quality if you want, but I'm not going to do that because I want the visuals to stay pretty good for the video. So we're going to go all the way back now that we've killed everything in hallway, and we're going to go past these annoying mutants that we're going to need in a moment, but we only need the big guy. So first I just go for it and I just fail it, so we decided to do this the easier way. We're going to bring all of the mutants that aren't the big guy into this room. The way this is going to work is the fact that the big guy can't fit in this room, but everyone else can. So to do this trick, you're going to try to parry this enemy at the very top of your jump. Then you're going to talisman, skull kick, slash, and dash to the ledge. If you do it correctly, you'll climb up. Once you've climbed up, go get ledge storage and then work your way through the hallway. It should be a whole lot easier because you've already killed all the enemies in the hallway. Make sure to change your graphics back to normal before trying to get back in the hallway though, because you cannot actually make that grapple jump without your FPS being set to 60. After you've ran through the hallway, just do your choice of vault up from the jump and continue on with the game as normal. The final trick of the run is pretty simple. All you have to do is get up here. You can do it by either skull kicking an enemy or by doing a slash jump. Once you've gotten up here, do a jump, dash, and talisman to jump over the arena trigger hitbox. And that's it for the guide. Hopefully that was helpful to some people. If you ever want to see me play any games, I often am speedrunning this on Twitch at hurtingoats.twitch.tv, and sometimes I play other things, but the vast majority of the time I've been playing Nine Souls right now, especially because I've been making these guides. I'm going to keep making guides. The next one that comes out should be the restricted version of this category, which hopefully will take a little less time to make, seeing it's so similar to this category, but we'll see. Hope you all have a nice day, and hopefully I'll see you later.